National AIDS Control Program in India has always utilized the cutting-edge technologies and new techniques in combating AIDS. Every once in a while, a new technology or a new technique comes which asks for attention and which we find is extremely useful in achieving our programmatic goal. One such technique which has come recently is the HIV self-testing or self-screening. Many of the approvals and the regulatory approvals have been obtained by PATH. This includes the DCGI's approval and the clinical test.
The first 90, which is the number of people who are positive who have come for testing, that is still suboptimal, mainly because of the stigma and discrimination and the fear of the result, I think, which are preventing the vulnerable populations, the key populations, from coming forward to the healthcare facilities for testing. So the best way to cover this gap is to give them the facility of self-testing at their homes or with their peers so that they can know the result.
The technical advisory group constituted by NACO in 2017 to explore HIV self-testing recommended operational research or pilots on HIV self-screening in populations not currently under or reached by the program, and to develop a framework for HIV self-screening, keeping in mind a robust communication and counseling package.
This is the first project which was aiming to reach more than 1 lakh study participants in coordination with NACO. It is interesting to note the kind of regulatory and in-country ethical approvals that have been obtained to initiate the study during the pandemic period. It is appreciable to note that the respective state AIDS control societies had been contacted from the initiation of the project and updated the progress periodically. Thanks to all the SACs for their support.
WHO has been partnering with the STAR initiative implemented by PATH together with other partners in multiple different countries. And we have taken a systematic approach to ensuring the translation of evidence to field implementation in countries. So today we are in a good place where we can take this to scale and ensure that this technology, this innovation is adapted nationally.
NACO has already made mention of the HIV self-testing as one of the innovations under NACP 5.
The recent response to COVID-19 demonstrated to us all that we need to find easier ways for accessing testing. This applies to HIV as well. We need to find easy ways that are acceptable and accessible to people in terms of knowing their status and moving forward and accessing treatment.
I think this came as an opportunity where people can go without going to hospital. They can actually access the HIV testing services in their own privacy, in their own confidentiality, and they can feel more comfortable.
HIV self-testing kits or HIV ST kits puts the test kits in the power of the individual, and that means that people can then self-test themselves in the privacy and confidentiality of their own homes. This is a very powerful tool which is a complement to the current testing strategies of the country and the national program.
Communities are best placed to inform an initiative like this because of the reach that they have. So the communities, through their outreach at the state and district level, were able to complete the feedback mechanism and bring the needs of the community from the ground.
A lot of communities have been engaged as study teams to reach the study participants, and more than 70% of the study participants are referred by key populations and PLHIV communities.
There used to be regular CAB meetings. We used to discuss, we need to kind of jointly build the strategies and whatever challenges we have faced, how to overcome those challenges.
So the feedback mechanism helped strengthen on the ground implementation because the ground reality was being fed back into the implementation of the pilot phase, as well as it helped the community understand better how self-testing would work for them on the ground. So in both ways, there was a good partnership and engagement which led to the success of the initiative.
HIV self-testing kit was kind of a gift for a lot of people who were afraid to get tested self-tested, who are afraid to go to these kind of centers where they will feel discriminated and stigmatized. And also the plus thing is, it's not only working for transgender people, but it is also working for their intimate partner. If there is service, there is some kind of a product which can help her to get them tested and know their status, I think this is amazing.
The community working group in this case provided ongoing inputs during implementation of the project, as well as looked at the results when they were made available by Star 3 initiative, and provided their ongoing support in terms of how to make the initiative more community centric and around the community.
I totally appreciate PATH and the Humsafar Trust for creating and implementing a research project with active community engagement, and a big thank you to all the communities who have actively supported and participated in the study even during the pandemic period.
India does have this opportunity right now. There has been a lot of implementing experience that shows how to get this done in India. And it is now time to scale up.
It is important that the counseling and demonstration videos developed in 8 local languages in the project be adapted for further use in the virtual platforms where tests are delivered. But before that, it will be important to have DCGI approved HIV ST kits in the country for further planning and innovating the focused sites to reach the unidentified and unreachable population.
We will also look at the detailed analysis and findings from this project for further community consultations so as to decide on how the HIV self-testing forms a part of India's HIV testing program.
There's still a segment of population which wants its privacy to be remain intact, and they would like to use this technique. Also, those who are on the virtual platforms, for them it would be their preferred way of screening.
The evidence generated will help in developing HIV self-testing policy in India in the future. I also take this opportunity to record the appreciation from NACO to PATH and its implementation partners for their hard work and for piloting this project.
Let's continue the momentum in expanding the options people have to finding out their HIV status. HIV self-testing is an important policy milestone that needs to move forward here in India.
PATH and Humsafar Trust has led the HIV self-testing demonstration project through Star 3 initiative in India. With this, we were able to generate evidence on HIV self-testing in the local context. Now these findings will be taken to the technical advisory group for exploring the future course of action.
I congratulate PATH and the partners for doing this. A very good work has been done, and I congratulate all stakeholders, the states' AIDS control societies, and I think that this is going to be a big change in the way screening of HIV is done, particularly at community settings.
I would like to extend my congratulations to the STAR project team.
अपनी आज़ादी और अपने समय पे अपना टेस्ट करिए और अपने आप को सुरक्षित रखिए। जानिए आपका HIV स्टेटस क्या है।